All right. Oh, what's happening, everybody? Jay Chase. Like, share, subscribe, dive, dip, dive, dodge. Hey, so I'm still in Facebook jail. Thank God for YouTube. So I got a life story that I'm going to share with you. Man, I got things I got to get to. I got canned water. I got a video I'm going to be making, and then edible urine. Yeah, long story about that. This is a life story that I'm going to share with you guys. So this story is about Dennys, and to be specific, this is about the Dennys restaurant in Enfield, Connecticut. Back in the 90s, I worked at Bradley International Airport, and I worked on the runway, basically loading up these igloo-shaped things that were used to, you fill them up with packages, and you fill the belly of the plane, and it's how, like, the mail gets around. So it was a pretty crazy job. It was pretty busy, and sometimes with everything that was going on with the runway, especially in the wintertime, you'd have a lot of downtime. So right down the street was Abdow's, Denny's, Taco Bell. There was a whole bunch of them. But Denny's was open late. The Denny's that I used to go to was at the one at Allen and Cooley at Parker Street in Springfield. We used to bring our cars there. We would race. We would get drunk, breakfasts at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was pretty cool. But it's like the later that you went at night, the trashier people got. Just throwing that out there. So here we are, Bradley Airport. It's in the wintertime. Something's going on with the runway. They said we're going to be down for about 2.5 hours. So we decided that we're going to go to the Denny's restaurant in Enfield, Connecticut. It's right next to the highway. So as we get in there, the first thing I noticed, besides it being very busy, is there was a very large, heavy-set dude parked his ass in one of the booths, and he was throwing food. But I didn't think anything about it. I'm at work. I'm getting paid to be there, so I'm going to have some lunch on UPS, and, whatever. So as we're sitting down, we're waiting for the nurse, or the nurse. We're waiting for the waitress to come over and take our order, and this guy decides that he's gonna throw some fries on our table. So I decide I'm gonna throw some fries back. I throw some fries back, and he decides that he's gonna pick up his whole plate of food and chuck his whole plate of food over. So he did. I got mad, and I said some choice words for him that I'm pretty sure would violate YouTube standards. Well, he got up, and the first thing that I noticed is how big he was. And as weird as this sounds, the first thing I did was picked up a fork, because if he comes after me, I'm going to jam it in his neck. The guy got up, and he started swearing, started yelling, and he says, "I'll do whatever the F I want in this place," and he lifts up his shirt. Now, I couldn't see if he had a gun under there, but I think he was attempting to show me a gun, which all he really did is show me his gunt, if you know what that is. I couldn't see any gun or anything like that. And he starts banging on his chest, and he says, $100 tips in this place, and nobody sees anything. And he was going to, I think he was going to reach out and smack one of us. And he saw that I had a fork in my hand, and both my hands were clenched. I was sitting on the inside of the booth, so he couldn't reach me, him with his little T-Rex arms. And he ended up leaving, or I don't know he ended up leaving. As he left, he ended up throwing more food. He spilled a drink and everything. And while all this was going on, none of us have ordered. The waitress hasn't come up to our table or anything like that. After he's gone, like, some people call the cops or whatever, and there was a little bit of commotion. As it's winding down, we're sitting down at the table, and in my head, I'm like, let's get the F out of here, man. I'm not staying at this effing dump. And the lady comes over and she says, "Hi, can I take your order?" I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" I'm like, how the F am I supposed to eat here now after that piece of crap, basically did what he did? You guys just sat there. You did nothing. Nobody called the cops, nothing. I said, I, for one, will never, ever eat in Denny's again. Well, that was a lie. Because I did eat at Dennys again, and this time was during the day, morning time actually. And it was at the Dennys on Memorial Drive in Chicopee. Now, I was thinking about getting some pancakes, maybe some eggs for breakfast. And somebody before me had ordered some delicious pancakes with whipped cream and fruit and all that. I watch him put the pancakes on the plate, spoon on some looks like a wild berry or like a dark berry mixture, and put some whipped cream on the top. And before he went to walk away, he picked out a fork, dipped it into the whipped cream, and pulled out like this 2-foot long hair. Hair eggs at Denny's. I wouldn't eat at Denny's. I don't know what's going on with them. I guess they serve burgers, all kinds of stuff. I haven't eaten there for forever. For one, I almost got shot at the one in Enfield, and for two, I almost ate pubic hair or somebody's fucking nasty, nappy ass head hair, and the one in Chicopee. Yeah, so that's it. That's the waiter came over and he's like, "Hey, can I take your order?" And I said, "Hey, what are you gonna do with those pancakes with the hair in it?" And he's like, "Excuse me?" And I said, "Well, what are you gonna do with the pancakes with the hair in it? I saw you pull out this big hair. Are you gonna serve them to somebody?" And he just sat there and he looked at me for a second. And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna pass on the breakfast. Have a nice day." Denny's is a shithole. I would never eat there ever.